Hi everyone, my name is David Zemer. I'm going to be talking to you guys about Plickers today. Plickers is a tangible, uh, kind of interactive, user-friendly tool that a teacher can use to formatively or summatively assess students. Now, I'm just going to run you through a couple different things. I'm going to run you through how to set up Plickers. I'm also going to show you how to use it. Taking a look at our screen here, we first need to, of course, go into Google and search Plickers. That is clickers with a P instead of a C, of course. And when you come to the home screen, you will have to sign up and make an account. Now, Plickers is completely free, so it's great to use, and then it interacts well with your iPad or your phone. Not sure about the different types of iPads or tablets or phones, but I do know it works really well on Apple products. So after you sign up, I'm going to go ahead and sign in here and run you through some of the things that work really well with Plickers. So taking a look, the first thing you want to look at is cards. So at the top, you can do this actually without signing in yet, where you can print your cards. So you would click on standard cards. And of course you could download them or print them. Right now they're set at 2 per page, so it kind of keeps it, pretty small. And as you can see, I have them hanging back there on my wall. Don't tell my fiance I pinned them in. So I have them hanging on my wall. I like the standard set because, as you notice, the numbers and letters are kind of tiny around the outside. And these are used for both multiple choice or true and false questions. If you take a look at the cards right here that I'm selecting, this would be large font cards. And you can notice how much bigger the numbers and letters are around the outside. I think that having the smaller numbers definitely keeps from students seeing which answers their neighbors are putting up, because we know that our children in our classroom really like to imitate, especially for moving around the room to different places. If they're coordinating, one corner means A, one corner means B, one corner means C. This way the students put their Plicker card up in the air and they hold the letter that they want, such as A. If they're selecting A or they're selecting D or B, they would hold that up in the air. That would be the one that they are selecting, would be kind of straight up towards the ceiling. Now you would want to make sure you go through that with your kids on how to use the Plicker cards or how to hold them first off, because if they do hold them in the wrong position, they will get the incorrect answer. One advantage of having the larger cards, if you take a look at my screen, they take up a whole page, but sometimes this is good for the students who are visually impaired, which I have had students in the past, so it's much larger and easier for them to see. Plus, I think that your phone or your iPad will probably pick up the larger image a lot easier, but I haven't had any problems with the size that I have hanging back here on the wall. So now that we talked about the cards, we're going to talk about setting up a class. I set up a demo class that we can look at, where I placed John Doe and Jane Doe in class, and it links them to the Plicker card that they have. If you took a look at the cards, John Doe is 1, Jane Doe is 2. The Plicker cards are also numbered around the outside. You can see them up in the corners, 1, 2. So they correspond with the number of classmate that you have listed as well. So after you have your class filled out, reading, writing, math, I think it's really well that you can set up different classes, because for our math class at Farmdale Elementary, our 5th graders are leveled. So we would have a different math class than we have a homeroom or reading class. Your next item of business would be to set up your questions. So going into the library and setting up a question, you can take a look here on the screen. You can set up multiple choice or true and false. True and false only use sides A and B of the Plicker card, and then of course you would check which one is correct and you would save them and create more. I have a multiple choice and a true and false question, which I will kind of just display for you guys. here when I demo it for you. So after you set up the question, you can move it, archive it, delete it, edit it. You can move it to whichever class you have it in. Right now in my demo class, I have the 2 questions listed. So this is kind of the Plickers side of it. Now, when you go to actually do this activity with your classmates, you need to click on the live view, right? So it says live view ready. Select a question in your ISO, or Android app. So it does use and work with Androids, which I haven't done my write-up yet. I'm kind of doing the video first and then the write-up. So I'll let you know a little bit more of the specifics in the write-up. So with my iPad, that is district provided. You might have a cart, you might have your cell phone. I know that it does work on cell phones as well. So I go to the app store and I type in Plickers, and it is a free app to download. So I'm at the sign-in screen. So I not only signed in on my computer, but now I need to sign in on my iPad. Give me a second, I'm going to do this here. And you only have to do it once. So I logged out for some reason because I thought it would look better for the video. So, but it's taking me a really long time. I'm a little slow at typing as well. Alright, here we go. Password. And voila. Now, on my screen, you can't really see it, but I have the 2 classes. And if it doesn't show up, it's probably because you had your iPad available or open while you were putting things in. You just hit refresh and it'll load back up, and it says, once you've loaded it, it says Plickers updated. So, now that I have my Plickers updated, I'm going to select my class. And as you see, it says still not seeing your class. It's because I haven't selected the question yet. So now I'm going to select my question that I created earlier. You notice that it jumps up on the screen because I could be projecting this at the time where my kids will be able to see it up on the board. And I will be using my iPad now, and I'll click, there's a scan button at the bottom. I can see what answers are correct. I'll hit a scan button at the bottom, and it will start scanning the room. So I'm going to actually put this up here, and I'm going to hit the 2 that are on my wall. Now, it immediately picked them up, and it immediately showed me who was right and who was wrong. So the top one was right, the bottom was wrong. Now, if I just rotate one of them, well, you can't really see it here, but if I rotate, it will change the answer. So let me put these back. And now I have up on the screen, it still shows the class, but on my iPad, it tells me how many responses, who was right, who was wrong. So I'm able to get answers really quickly. Also along the top, I have John Doe in green and Jane Doe in red. That shows me who got the answer correct and incorrect, and it will give you that entire list of your students' answers. And then on your screen, taking a look back at our computer, I can reveal or hide the answers to the students, but as you noticed, it showed who did not have the questions. So let's do a second one. So that was the multiple choice. Now I'm going to select the second answer. So it shows that on my screen here, John Doe, Jane Doe, they didn't answer yet. Right? I'm going to do it with reviewing. I'm going to hide it. I'll reveal it. Very indecisive. And now I'm going to scan on my iPad, and let's see what happens. Okay, this time, because one of them got it right, one of them got it wrong, and I didn't put that the girl got it wrong on purpose both times. I just selected a card, guys. But it shows you right away on your computer who answered, who hasn't answered. Let's see, it looks like I haven't gotten John's yet. Okay. It has a negative up there. Oh, so perfect example. It showed a negative because I don't have John's card facing the correct way. I have D showing at the top. So, since D is the one pointing up, A and B are the only ones that are being used for true and false. So right away it'll show you whether a kid has chosen an invalid choice. You might have to say, hey John, you need to select a different one. So it allows the students to visualize it, visually see correct and incorrect answers. You can hide the panel. You don't even have to show the students their responses, but it does help for who answered, who hasn't answered. Of course, you can go full screen, exit full screen, and it's a real quick data collection. As long as, I mean, that very first time you introduce it to your class, it's probably going to take some time. But after they get into the routine, it's such a quick assessment. I would actually take the Plicker cards, and I would have them laminated to maybe a homework folder or laminated to some type of work folder. That way it can stay in the desk and the kids can just pull out their folders. That way you don't have to pass out the Plicker cards all the time. As a teacher, I'm always thinking of things that we can do faster and quicker. So definitely using the Plickers is a great resource to have in the classroom. So I hope I was able to explain Plickers a little bit for you and to give you a little preview of how it's used. All right, guys, have a good one.